Listen, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. I want to talk about being focused. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize, but a lot of people are just 1 month away from being homeless. This is going to be one of my realest videos ever. And I'm going to say this again. A lot of people are really 1 or 2 months away from being homeless. So when it's all said and done, listen, I believe while you up, I believe while you have a comfort zone, listen, start making moves, start making investments, start saving up, and understand that when you see somebody on the street, always have compassion. And I'm gonna say this again, always have compassion, because a lot of people, the real reason a lot of people are not homeless is because they have family. And I'm gonna say this again, the real reason a lot of people are not homeless, that's because they have family. They have a mother, they have a father, they have an auntie. A lot of people, they got their grandparents, they got a grandfather, they got a grandmother. So if they fall, guess what? Whatever the family name is, the family got their back. When it's all said and done, some people don't have a father. Some people don't have a mother. And when it's all said and done, listen, I don't really know who my audience is. But to everybody out there that doesn't have a mother, to everybody out there, if their father passed away, I just want to say, listen, my condolences, let it breathe. Moment of silence. But we live in a time where when I was growing up, I guess I never really paid attention to, people, if they were homeless or not. But 9 out of 10, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in the atmosphere, but people nowadays, they always want to say, oh, so-and-so is homeless. Let me tell you guys something. First of all, being homeless is like a financial jam. And I'm going to say this again. Being homeless is just like a financial jam. If you're homeless, that doesn't mean you have to be homeless 5 months from now. And I'm gonna say this again. If you're homeless, that doesn't mean you have to be homeless next year. I don't know why listen, when it's all said and done, a lot of people, they wish that they were referees. A lot of humans, they always love to count people out. It makes no sense. No tiene sentido. It does not make sense how humans like to count other humans out. And I just feel like, listen, if you ever fall in rough times, and guess what? If you don't have a mother, if you don't have a father, or if you don't have the best relationship with your family, and you get fired, and it takes you a while to get a job, because you got to understand, if you get fired, the most logical thing to do would do DoorDash, Uber Eats, something that could get you some cash money, no baby, right now. And I'm gonna say this again. Something that could get you some cash money, grown man, real talk, no baby, right now. That's the wise thing that you could do. If you get fired, listen, Grubhub, DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats, Grubhub, do something. When in doubt, you gotta keep a cash flow coming in. Most jobs, traditional jobs, they take time. It's an interview process. You got to fill out paperwork. You got to take a drug test. You got to understand, in that time, bills are still coming. You might get a couple extensions, but in that time, guess who don't want to hear the extension? Listen, your landlord is different than Verizon. And I'm going to say this again. Your landlord is different than AT&T. When it's all said and done, depending on your rental complex, some rental complex, they don't pay. If you don't got that money on the 4th, listen, they're sending court hearings, court documents. Listen, they not playing. They trying to get you up out of there. Half of them didn't think that you could even afford to live in the complex. So if you run into tough times, if you run into turbulence, you guys have to understand it's only a certain amount of rental complex that will work with you. Meaning, if you fall on tough times, they'll let you slide till the 20th. Yeah, it's only a handful. So listen, if you have a rental complex like that, listen, count your blessings. If you're in this area or if you're in a neighborhood, if you fall on tough times, they'll work with you, count your blessings. But let me tell you guys something. A lot of people, they don't really understand humans will literally set them up. They will literally line them up. They will really lie in them. And the thing about a lot of people that are quote unquote wolves, they roll in a pack. So if you got about 7 people lying on you, if you got a 20 verse 1 and it's not a dating show, and if your boss want to do something illegal, because you got to understand, a lot of people live in an at-will state. And if you live in an at-will state, they could try to fire you for any reason. And I just want to let you guys know that a lot of people that you think got money, they could be homeless in 2 months. And I'm gonna say this again, a lot of people that you think are doing good, listen, if everything hits the fan and if all the money slows up, a lot of people could literally be homeless in 2 months. If not that, a month. So if you see a homeless person on the street, listen, don't give your 2 cents, don't judge, who knows? They were probably suspended from work for 3 months without any pay. You guys have to understand, some athletes, they get suspended with pay. You feel me? When you got a job, when you work for a corporation, what happens if they suspend you without pay for 2 months? Do you think your landlord is going to work with you for 2 months? Listen, that's when the Lord comes in. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But 9 out of 10, a lot of people, especially in this world, listen, they all about the money. They all about the bottom line. They all about the dollar. That's what capitalism is all about. So when it's all said and done, your job that's putting you on ice, or your job that terminated you, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, at the end of the day, you think your managers care about your landlord? Absolutely not. That's why it's so important when you have a job to always start something, always create a product, always have extra income. I don't care what anybody says. As a man, you should have multiple streams of income. And I'm gonna say this again, as a man, you should have multiple streams of income. If something happened to one income and you got 14 incomes, okay. Something happened to one, this doesn't take food out of my kid's mouth. This doesn't stop me from what I got going on. But 9 out of 10, the reality of it, and I want to talk about it, is a lot of people are devoted to one stream of income. A lot of people are devoted to one company. And my thing is, listen, you could love the company, but the question is, what happens when a company doesn't love you back the same? And that's how it is for most relationships. Some people love hard, but the thing is, what happens when the other party does not love you back? And I'm just here to say, a lot of people cannot survive 2 months without income, without family help, without shelter, without a friend. A lot of people really can't go 2 months without income. 2 months without income, listen, if you're not a content creator, if you can't tell a person Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, if you can't tell a person Zelle me, if you can't start a GoFundMe, 2 months will take the average person out of not saying that you can't make a comeback, but when it's all said and done, you could find yourself on the streets. It's a thought that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And I want to talk about this because a lot of people, they've been leaving in the comment section that they got fired. And I just want to say that, listen, anybody can get fired. Anybody can be lied upon. Anybody could be framed. And I'm going to say this again. Anybody can be framed. Never feel safe at a job. Never feel safe at a corporation. I don't care if you got employee of the month for 12 months. Never feel like you're safe because you're not safe. And I'm going to say this again. Never ever feel like you're safe at a job because low key, you're not safe. College degree, you're not safe. Career, time, experience, you're not safe. When it's all said and done, you guys have to understand that you cannot judge a person that's homeless. You cannot judge a person on the street. You cannot judge them because there's no telling how they probably went 2 months without pay. You guys have to understand, listen, if you go 2 months without pay, it's not the end of the world, but unless you got a strong personality, unless you got motion on the internet, that could be draining. Imagine not having a car for 2 months. Imagine no income for 2 months. Imagine your company leaves you out in the dark for 2 months. Imagine your landlord looking at you like, listen, you passed the rent and you passed 16 days. I think 16 days is the more that's the most they'll give you before they finally evict you. And you got to stop and think. How did this happen to me? And I'm going to tell you how it can happen to you. It can happen to you because, listen, in middle school, they don't tell you we live in an evil world. In high school, they tell you about Shakespeare, where art thou, but they don't tell you we really live in an evil world. And a lot of people, when they see you built up, a lot of people, when they see you working on your physique, a lot of people, they're going to turn into androids, a new challenger, and they're going to try to stop your run financially. Nobody wants to see a man that's built up really get into it, respectable, honorable, with principles and integrity. Nobody really wants to see that. They want to see men out here looking like victims. They want to see men out here protesting. They want to see men up here holding up signs. So when it's all said and done, I just want to say, listen, being strong, it sounds good, but you got to be mentally strong as well. And I'm going to say this again. Being strong, it sounds good, but you got to be mentally ready as well. Listen, your management team, when it's all said and done, when they fire you and they terminate you, they know you got bills, but they playing in your face. Corporate America, when it's all said and done, when they put you on a 4-month suspension, they know you got bills, but guess what? They're playing in your face. We live in a world where a lot of people never really grew up from the sandbox. And I'm going to say this again. A lot of people never really matured from the sandbox. A lot of people at 35, they'll still play in your face. At 45, listen, you could get fired at 45. You feel me? They'll still play in your face. At 50, listen, I seen it. Warehouses, I seen 50-year-old men getting fired. When it's all said and done, you could be 75, and guess what? You could still get fired. You could be 44, put a 44 in the chat, and you could still get fired. When it's all said and done, listen, enough is enough. I feel like, listen, your life should never be in the hands of another man. Your life should never be in the hands of another woman. When it's all said and done, listen, stop letting other people have the control of your life. Take the control back. Start something. Create something. Work out. Listen, when you have a product and you take care of yourself, listen, you are the walking billboard. You are the biggest stock. Take care of yourself. You guys have to understand, when you realize that most humans will try to sabotage what you have going on. Most people will, strangers will. A lot of people that don't know you, they'll try to bump into you, escalate stuff, and make you risk your freedom. So when it's all said and done, you guys gotta literally, listen, it's been a while since I talked about this, but I'm telling you, stay focused before you end up homeless. I don't know. We live in a world, like I said, it's YouTube videos out there, Mr. Keep It Simple homeless, Mr. Keep It Simple this, but you got to stop and think. Anybody could be homeless. Anybody could be homeless. Anybody. It can happen to anybody. All you got to do is go 2 months without pay. You don't have a car. You don't have access to no gig work. Every job says, we're not hiring, we're not hiring, we're not hiring, we're not hiring. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody could be homeless. When it's all said and done, never think you better than the next man. The key to longevity, and I should have started this at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to say this. The key to longevity is to be humble. And I'm going to say this again. The key to longevity is to be humble. When you humble, you realize, you know what? I'm no different than the next man. When you humble, you realize, you know what? If I don't get on my grind, I can end up at the Circle K too. Being humble is realizing, you know what, if I don't record this content, guess what? My stuff could be on the street too. If I don't go hard, guess what? Listen, all my stuff could get evicted too. That's really being humble. Realize that you're not above anybody and you're not underneath anybody, and understand that, you know what? A lot of people were just not prepared. Preparation is the key. And I'm going to say this again. Preparation is the key. It's a key to life. It's a key to war. It's a key to family. It's a key for everything. Troubleshooting situations. Preparation is the key. And if you prepare, guess what? It's better for you. If your boss had to say, you know what, you're fired, guess what? You know what, thank you. I took your money. I invested in a DTG machine. I took that money that you guys gave me. I started a silk screen machine. I took that money that you gave me. I started a tinting business. When it's all said and done, listen, that's because you were prepared. Any company can outsource to India. Shout out to India. Any company can outsource. Any company can close their doors. I met a woman, she said she was working in the medical field for 17 years and she was working under doctors. They got greedy and they just got rid of the company, left her high and dry. A lot of people, they're crossing their fingers, hoping on retirement. Listen, retirement, you can't trust retirement. And I'm going to say this again, you cannot trust retirement. You cannot trust 401k. When it's all said and done, map it out, trap it out, and understand, listen, being humble is the key. When you humble, you're going to realize, you know what, if you see homeless people, you're going to say an inner prayer for them, and you're going to say, listen, I pray to God they make a comeback. Whenever I see somebody homeless, I don't judge them with sympathy. I don't judge them. I don't say, oh, well, he must have been doing this. He must have. No, what I do is I say a silent prayer, and I say, listen, I wish they all make a comeback, because anybody can make a comeback. And I really do stand on this. I do believe anybody can make a comeback if they want to make a comeback. Listen, understand, the homeless, I don't know why we live in a generation where people laugh about this stuff now. They really laugh. Oh, so-and-so homeless. So what? Anybody can make a comeback. Just because you're homeless, that doesn't mean you have to be homeless forever. And I'm going to say this again. Just because you run into a financial jam that probably caused you to be homeless, that doesn't mean you have to be homeless forever. Listen, stay focused. And I don't care whatever situation you're going through, whatever situation you're in, if you focus, guess what? Listen, God got your back. And I'm going to say this again. God got your back. Let it breathe.